don't know what the Twitch came up as. Did it come up right?
Yeah.
All right.
It did. We're good.
Sweet. All right. I guess we can start.
Alrighty.
Really?
Here is the fucking news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Here is the fucking
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
Sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Overseas Connection podcast. Episode 822. Smooth as butter. Easy peasy. Nothing can go wrong this show. That's what I get, Kim. That's what I get for saying it's all set up and squared away.
I know. God, the gremlin showed up again.
The gremlins love to show up. But hey, we're here. It is the Super Bowl pre-show.
It is.
So buckle up, people. We're gonna go fast and furious because we want to make sure we get Kim off in time to watch our Chiefs lose. Just kidding. Well, okay, maybe not. Who knows?
Right.
I think it's going to be a good game, Kim. That's the hope.
I do too.
Kim
I'm glad
Woods
to be
on the
here.
show. Kim, hi. How you doing?
Howdy. I'm glad to be here. So.
All right.
appropriately
My name,
dressed,
by the way,
so.
appropriately. I had to find something green. This is the only thing I could find that was somewhat Eagles color. It is green and gray. I do have the matching gray pants on, so I am looking
Look at
quite
you go.
Eagles-esque, and my camera just wants to do its thing too. So
It does.
it's craziness right now. We are a video game podcast, by the way. If you can't figure that out yet, we do
Right.
like to talk about video games. We talk about life. We talk about stuff. We'll be talking about a lot of stuff on this show. We do it every Sunday, 8 p.m. in the UK, although we don't want any UK people on this show today because it's distinctly American because it's Super Bowl.
Right.
All they care about is the dumb football soccer thing. And you know what? We're all about the American pro sports. Men only. Well, okay, maybe not men only. But men in the appropriate sports, women in... no, I'm not going to go there. All right. We do this on Twitch. We do it on YouTube. We live broadcast, like I said, 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. And if you're in Canada, in Ontario, also known as Kim's local hangout, it's 2 p.m. there, Central Time Zone. We have one birthday to talk about. Kim, I think it's appropriate you talk about this birthday because I'm pretty sure this is family related.
Yes. My youngest brother, Stacy. Yeah, that's right. His name is Stacy, and he's a boy. Anyway, his birthday is February 11th. So
I'm glad you pointed that out because in the past, we've had other people with not necessarily the most masculine name or not. But
Right.
Mark was like, ooh, a lady listening. And we had to break it to him that it was actually a dude.
right.
But
No, I understand. Yeah,
Stacy.
He used to get stuff for beauty pageants and things all the time, so we used to tease him about it.
Stacy, you're looking beautiful. For 73,
Yeah.
you look
Right.
fantastic. All right, Kim, we're diving into it. There's no time to waste.
All right.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
Look at that boomer like clockwork in the chat. I love
know.
it.
He was waiting on us.
That's almost a story in and of itself right there. Boomer on time.
Yeah.
Okay. Kim,
Yes.
you have your week seems to have been pretty nondescript.
Yeah, pretty much. There was no
What was the
luck in
highlight of your week, Kim?
there. Well, I got a mouse, so I don't have to use the trackpad anymore.
That is amazing. Honestly, was it like revolutionary?
Yes.
Did you just be like, holy shit, why did I not do this like 2 years ago?
Right. Yeah. Right. And, I mean, considering I've had this thing for probably 10 years, it was just sitting in the cabinet,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
You know, probably the funniest thing to this also is honestly, for about 2 years, I kept thinking, why doesn't she just use a mouse? And I never said anything. I just let it go. So,
Let me scroll
welcome
right
to
when
the
it
modern
releases,
age.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, other than that, it's been a good week. There's no big, sad issues or anything like that. It's one of those weeks. Nothing happened.
Okay. Real fast. We're going to talk Super Bowl
Okay.
for a brief moment. Only because, honestly, I don't feel the hype for the Super Bowl that I felt in the past.
Well, yeah, but your
And
team's not in it, so I understand that.
But even that, it feels, and maybe it's just because I haven't really been paying attention to sports TV all that much this past week. But
Right.
I do feel like just the national discussion of the Super Bowl. Obviously, if you're in Philadelphia, if you're in Kansas City, you're going to be talking about it. Of course, it's going to be exciting for you. But I feel like the rest of the nation could honestly care less. I think we care more about the commercials this year than we do this actual Super Bowl, which is a little sad, but
Right.
also kind of exciting because I think the commercials are going to be good.
Well, we hope.
Bringing back the good commercials. That's the hope. That's the dream.
Right.
Okay, enough Super Bowl talk. We'll probably talk more about that next week.
Hopefully.
Look at
I
that
mean-
playing skills, Lewis in the chat too. It's getting
Yeah.
crowded already. That's what happens when people don't want to watch the Super Bowl. They'd rather listen to us. Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about real fast.
Okay.
I was sicker than shit this past week. Holy
Yeah?
crap. Well, it was kind of a carryover from last week. It just manifested even worse.
Oh,
And
dear.
so I literally took off from the gym for like 4 days straight, which I never do, but it was much needed. I still am a little nasally, but I feel like Friday morning, I like kind of turned the page on it, and I feel much, much better. So much so that I feel like I can drink now. I literally, no alcohol,
That's
nothing.
important.
I was just like, okay, this just sucks. I hate being sick.
Right.
It makes me sound like an alcoholic.
A little bit.
But yeah, so
You're among
there was that. My mom suddenly, her surgery. So my mom went to ER. We're like, holy crap, what the hell? My sister was up with her, thankfully. She managed to get a urinary tract infection, which certain types of UTIs can onset very fast. And this happened overnight. Like she woke up the next morning, was disoriented, could barely walk, couldn't stand up. So she goes to ER. They're talking about potentially moving up. She has a surgery date in May. Suddenly they're talking about doing it this coming week. And I'm thinking, good Lord, I got to get up there with my other sister. And I'm like, but I'm sicker than hell. Well, the good news is that all has now shifted once again and it's postponed a little bit. And they're not needing to get in for any kind of surgery anytime soon. So that's the good news. I did go and watch a movie on Thursday night, which it was dicey because I still wasn't feeling completely great. And yes, I know I probably shouldn't have gone to a movie, but there was nobody in the theater. So I felt relatively good about being able to go out with my wife on a quick little date night. We went and watched the movie Companion. And if you're not familiar with Companion, one of the main characters is Jack Quaid, I think is his name.
Yep.
He is from The Boys. The tall, skinny guy. I forgot his character name in the Boys.
Huey. Is it Huey?
Yes, Huey. Yes, Huey. So he stars in this. He has a couple movies now that he's in. Does a fantastic job. Highly, highly recommend Companion. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not going to spoil it. Try not to watch a trailer. Just go see it. Yes, you can wait for it to come out on video if you want to save yourself, movie tickets. But it is well worth the watch. Really good. Enjoyed it. Had no idea what this movie was about. My wife picked it out, and I went into it blind. Came out very, very happy that I saw the movie. So highly recommend Companion. And then in my waning days of sickness, I decided to watch the Disney series Echo. Well, it's Marvel. Echo.
Right.
Oh, Disney. So Echo the character Echo from the Marvel Universe, she's a Native American. She is deaf in the comics. And her power, Echo, is the ability for her to basically be able to see somebody and replicate what they do. So kind of creating an echo of what they can do. And so she, in essence, so she sees somebody fighting, she can then take that fighting style and mimic it, so to speak. So that's her superpower in the comic books. Now, in the Disney series, apparently her character was not, and I'm going to say the name woke. Sorry if I offend anybody, but she wasn't woke enough. They not only have her as a Native American and deaf, but they also decided to pull a character that also has lost a leg. So she has lost her right leg, and they explained it away in the TV series about her getting in a car crash. Excuse me. And again, I don't really care so much about that. It was a little disingenuous though, because and I'm going to spoil the shit out of this, by the way. Sorry if anybody's really wanting to listen to this, but or watch it. You still can watch it if you want. I would not recommend it. But at one point her prosthetic leg gets damaged. And prosthetic legs, as you know, are very intricate, difficult things to manufacture.
Right.
But they bring it to her like old grandpa guy, and he just is like tinkering around, with his toolbox and a crap load of like junk for back of, lack of a better word. And he just fashions, an artificial limb out of, mythical parts. And of course, he then creates an additional like plate for her prosthetic leg that he ends up fixing the real one. Anyway, that aside, that again, not the biggest deal in the world, but what I ultimately, I'll take a step back because I'm being a bit brutal to the show. Early on, I actually had high hopes. It is hyper aggressive. It doesn't hold back. And I actually liked probably the first 3 or so episodes, despite them changing the character a little bit. They do change her power, which that I actually had the big issue with, because they never really talk about her power and what it is. And maybe I missed it. Maybe they did, but they didn't do a good enough job of like explaining it. And then later on towards the 5th episode, which by the way, there's only 5 episodes, so it's a pretty short watch. They start talking about it being like this healing power and how she's echoing her ancestors through herself. And in the final scene, or the final fight scene, she suddenly is using her fingers to create her echo power, and she enables her grandma, and her sister to be able to have superpowers themselves and punch the guys next to them, knocking them out type thing. It was the dumbest thing in the world. I was just like, for fuck's sake, come on. Fisk, the super villain bad guy.
Right.
She kills him in, I want to say it was the Daredevil series. She shoots him through the eye.
Right.
And he's dead. Oh, but no, he's not dead. Apparently the bullet somehow missed his brain completely and went through his face and out his back, even though we see that he has like this massive hole in his eyeball. He is able to come back to life. He has, I'm assuming, an artificial eye. I don't know for sure, but it doesn't look like it. And he has, scarring around the corner of his eye, but, the eye that was not there is there again. And then one of the really dumb things, he doesn't sign, and she of course uses sign language to communicate.
Right.
Which is problematic also in a television series, because oftentimes it's like watching a silent movie at times.
Right.
They also do this bizarre, weird, like silent movie montage where they're kind of showing it like a black and white old silent movie. And for the first half of it, there's no sound, and it's just the characters interacting, and you're watching what looked like an old school silent movie. And then about halfway through, suddenly they just introduce sound into this silent movie, except for the character still can't talk, but you hear the gunshots, and then at the very end, you hear this Indian character yelling and yipping, and I was just like, okay, that was dumb. But back to Carlton Fisk. Is it Carlton Fisk? It's not Carlton Fisk, but Fisk. He creates. Okay, so he can't talk to her. He has to use an interpreter. So he has hired this woman interpreter into his organization, and Fisk has this giant criminal enterprise.
Right.
And so he has this personal assistant that is signing with her and helping him communicate.
Right.
And I want to say it was episode 4, maybe 5, but he decides she has come of it because she's an anti-hero in this movie, by the way, in this series. She's doing basically his bidding. She's a bad person, so to speak. And he decides she's ready for the big time. And so he kind of says, your training wheels are off, you're ready. And then he dismisses his interpreter. And she's like, okay. And she leaves. Well, she goes around the corner and they kill her. For what reason, I don't know. But they just decided to kill the interpreter because, apparently she was there helping him talk. But that leaves him with no interpreter.
Right.
Well, turns out he created these contact lenses that, apparently are super sci-fi contact lenses that have never, the technology is beyond us. Because these little contact lenses that have no electronics in them other than being a contact lens are able to actually show him sign language. So you see these blue arms mimicking sign language on screen. And they grab her and they shove one of these contacts into her eyeball. Now, look, I've dealt with contact lenses many, many times in my life. There's no fucking way in a struggle you're going to be able to place a contact lens into somebody's eyeball without massively pinning them down and keeping their head from moving. But they were able to do it in like one fell shot with just grabbing her arms and then tilting her head back and throwing it into her eyeball. But on top of the stupidness of just that, these contact lenses show arm gestures of sign language instead of just fucking putting words on screen for him to be able to see of what she's saying and what he's saying.
Right.
So that was dumb. The final cutscene was dumb. The whole show was dumb. And just don't ever watch Echo. That's all I can say. For do yourself a favor. Just don't watch it. And that was my week. That was outside of playing video games. I got a lot of video games in. We'll talk about that. Before we talk about that, though, let's talk about this question from Discord. It's not really a question, by the way. It's a statement.
It's not a question. It's a statement, and there was more after that, but I didn't want to put it all in there, so I figured I'd just read it off of Discord. So, all right. You want me to just read it?
Yes, I would love for you to read it. And by the way, Mr. Plain Skills, you are incorrect. I do actually like quite a bit of Disney stuff, but the latest stuff has been horrible. I pray to God they don't screw up Andor 2 because I loved the Andor series. And I love Bad Batch. That's another great animated TV series, cartoon, Clone Wars stuff from Star Wars.
Right.
Deadpool Wolverine, fantastic. Deadpool 2 Wolverine, fantastic. So, come on. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. That's all right. No, from Playing Skills. And this is kind of fitting given the other stuff in the news and whatnot. So this is more of a statement than a question, but physical is greater than digital. With both Xbox and PlayStation having multiple outages over the past 12 months affecting their online services, we like to compare gaming subscriptions to video streaming. But when was the last time you heard of a site outage with Netflix? I could think of one. That would have been the boxing match. But anyway, I think we can all agree they're both different beasts. On my primary PlayStation console, while I couldn't play games that require an online connection, I, however, was able to play games offline that didn't require the internet, including titles that I pay a subscription for. On my second console, none of my digital games worked, but physical copies did. All this is to say, physical is greater than digital for life. Well, true, I guess.
I mean, it is true to a degree, although increasingly, sadly, physical games are merely just a license lock for the game to unlock and still digitally download onto your console.
Right.
So, not being able to, I don't know how that would work. I don't know if again, I think about like Space Marine. It was more or less just a digital code to
Right.
download the game onto my console. I have to have the disc in it to run it, but there's an online check as well because it pulls
Right.
assets and loads it up. So I think increasingly even physical copies are not necessarily going to be foolproof, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, like you said, how many times you've bought a physical game, put it in the console, and they're like, nope, you need a patch, like day one, So then you're sitting there waiting for the damn patch to download or whatever it is. So, I mean, And my thing is, too, with physical, I mean, where the hell would I store them all? I don't have this. If I bought every digital game physically, where the fuck would I put it? Because I have probably, 500 digital video games.
Kim, you see the shelves behind you. You need a third shelf.
I would.
Also a small basement space. Just put them all there.
Right.
Yeah, no, I literally have 2 physical games now. I've gotten rid of all of the physical games, and these 2 games, ironically, we'll be talking about them in the news cycle, as well as in our conversations. But I've completely gone digital.
I have more or less, yeah.
And Steam set us on this trajectory, by the way. Anybody wants to blame anybody, it's Steam.
Right.
They've been an all digital storefront for what?
Years.
10 plus years, if not
Yeah.
more. Ever
Right.
since they were created, they were a digital
Pretty
storefront.
much, yeah. Right.
So that's our future. I'm sorry. Sorry to inform you, physical is going to be a dying dinosaur,
Right.
if not already dead. All right, but fear not, because the games that we pay for that we get for free when the networks are up, we have a list of those games.
Yeah,
Kim,
I went through them this time, so.
yes, I see that. So we have an updated list for February. Let's hear it.
Right. All right. I already went through these last weekend, but I'll go through them again since I'm doing it all anyway. For your PlayStation Plus this month, we have Payday 3 for the PS5, High on Life for the PS4 and PS5, and Pac-Man World Repack, which is funny. For the PS4.
Real quick,
and
Kim, by the
PS5.
way, people are refuting the Netflix was down comment.
I saw
It was
that.
just a bad live stream.
Okay. Well, all right. For Game Pass for February, we have Far Cry New Dawn. We have another Crab's Treasure, which I guess that was just on, or is on standard now. It's like, I thought that was still on there, but all right. Eodin Chronicle, 100 Heroes. That's a lot of heroes. Starfield, which is now on standard. Madden NFL 25, which I have to laugh about because I just bought this for fucking Tony because
Oops.
it was on EA. Yeah, it was on a trial or what, it was a 10-hour trial or whatever on EA Play, and he's like, can you buy this for me? And I did, and the next day, oh, we're on Game Pass, motherfucker. So, thankfully, though, I got it for cheap, so it wasn't that bad, but still, Kingdom 2 Grounds, which is a good one. I've been playing that one off and on. And, of course, the big one for this week, or I guess technically next week, we have Avowed.
Yes.
Which will be out February 18th on Game Pass. Now, on the other side of the coin, we have games leaving Game Pass this month. So far, we have, a little to the left, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, EA Sports UFC 3, Indivisible. No, it's just Indivisible. There's no cloud. I got ahead of myself.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Virgin Blade. Yeah, right. Return to Grace and Tales of Arise. Those are the ones leaving. All right. Now, for a whole other matter, we have Prime Gaming.
Holy
for this
crap.
month, and yeah. Hold on to your pants because there's a lot. But there usually is for Prime, so I'm not really sure I'm surprised. Axolotl Together. What the hell ever. Bioshock Infinite Complete Edition. Sands of Ara. Surf World Series. The Talos Principle Gold Edition. Dark Sky. Hard Space Shipbreaker. I don't know why that one is funny. It just is. Listfang, The Time Shift Warrior. Stunt Kite Party. Really? Stunt kites? Uh-oh.
Sure.
Is that a thing? Apparently. The Smurfs 2, The Prisoner of the Green Stone. Colt Canyon. El Hio, A Wild West Tale. Republic of Jungle. Jesus Christ. Royal Romances, Cursed Hearts Collector's Edition. Dear Lord. Wolfenstein, Youngblood.
Wolfenstein!
Right? Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Director's Cut. Night Reverie, Redemption Reapers, Sin Mora EX, and Your Grace. that's Prime Gaming.
Okay.
Or
Real
fun.
fast, by the way, the Wolfenstein Youngblood, that game also, with the code, you will be able to play that on Xbox.
Oh, really?
So it is crossplay. It's the first time they've ever done that. Amazon offering up an actual Xbox game.
I'll
So
have
the
to grab
code,
that one then.
the
I don't
code will
have
let
it.
you have it on Xbox too.
Sweet. Alrighty. Epic Games for this week. We have Beyond Blue and Humankind. And then next week we will have F1 Manager 2024.
Again,
there you
nobody
go.
cares about- Nobody
Right.
cares about F1.
Yeah. Nobody.
Sorry, Robin. Okay, that's what he gets for not being on the show.
Right.
You know, just saying. All right, thank you for that, Kim. That was delightful.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
I feel like I've not been paying attention to the chat. There's some anger about me mentioning Steam.
No.
And then,
Wow.
yeah, Playing Skills said, my only complaint with Steam is their UI. They need to update it to make it shinier. But if it works... So...
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the Steam UI. Especially on the Steam Deck. I actually like the UI
Right.
quite a bit.
Right.
So if they could bring that to consoles, hint, hint, that could be in the future. Who knows? That would be kind of
Hey.
cool.
Well, I'm for that.
All right. Kim,
Yep. Yes.
talk about Vidya games.
Okay.
Where are we at? So I know you played Dragon Age,
Of course.
but we're not going to talk about Dragon Age.
That's fine. I'm sure I've, talked about it enough.
I don't
Sure.
think you have, Kim. I think you could talk about it for hours and hours on
Well,
end.
I probably could, and people would think I was a loon, and let's not go there. So,
Again, I'm not passing judgment. But we can talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
yes,
You've gotten
I got
into
enough
it.
this week. I did. I started. I've got about a couple hours in. So,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
Give me your
to be
thoughts. I've got
fair,
the intro cinematic playing. Fantastic cinematics, by the way,
right.
in Baldur's Gate.
It is nice. It is pretty.
Yeah.
To be fair, I jumped right from Veilguard, Dragon Age, right to Baldur's Gate, which I knew was going to be a bit of an adjustment because the combat in Baldur's Gate is
It's very different.
slow as hell.
Yep. Turn-based tactics, Kim. Welcome to my world.
And I mean, I knew that going in, and I played them before, but to go from something like Veilguard, where it's just like button mashing, hack and slash, there you go, and then to go to Baldur's Gate, and you've got to click on every little person to do every little thing. It was like, oh god. But it is pretty good so far. But I have gotten lost on the map. I don't know how many times, and trying to figure out the menu system has been difficult. Because you pull up and there's all these wheels of different things you need to do. Like I even have to click a button so I can jump, and I'm not used to that going from Veilguard to this. So it's been a bit of a learning curve, but I am enjoying it. Strangely enough, or maybe I'm just enjoying Gale. I don't know, but
Is Gale your love interest?
well, not at the moment. I mean, we're working on it, I guess. It's funny because I got.
Looking at the chat right now, Kim and her sex sims. Indeed, that is the truth of this. Kim's just in it for the
Right.
sex. She wants to make it with a bear. We know this.
Right. I haven't even recruited that one yet. But damn it. Anyway, I got Stormheart that's her name, and then the lizard lady Lae'zel. I got her. Which right now those two are pissing me off because they're constantly bitching at each other, and it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave you two back at camp. I'm gonna take Astarion and Gale, and we're just gonna go. Because honestly, listening to those two bitch at each other is annoying as shit. But anyway, apparently there's like 6 or 8 companions I guess you can pick up. I don't
There's
think you
a
need
few.
them all.
Yeah.
But so far, like I said, I've got Gale and I've got the vampire guy, which is funny. He's already tried to get into my pants, but he also insulted my chin while he was doing it. So I'm like, want to get in my pants, but you don't like my chin. What the fuck? But yeah. Otherwise, like I said, it's been fun. Like I said, I need waypoints on the map that are a lot better than what they are because I get lost so bad. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I did think about mods, but
No.
apparently if you use mods, you can't get achievements. So I'm trying to decide if I'm a big enough achievement whore to worry about getting the achievements or just use mods. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm assuming you're playing this on console.
Yes.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the console does have mods, which is surprising. I was not expecting that. So
Okay.
yeah.
No, I have it on Steam.
Right.
And oddly, playing it on my Steam Deck, not ideal. It will play. It plays fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the tiny screen, talk about the waypoints and being, having a
Right.
challenge understanding things.
Right.
I definitely need the glasses for that. I'm just
Right.
saying.
I mean, I played on the big TV, and I'm like, okay, wait, I'm supposed to go where? Like all the way over there. I'm like, fuck, that's only going to take me like 4 days to get over there, but fine. And I mean, I'm stumbling into these, I stumbled into a bunch of bandits in I think it was an old church or something. And then we almost got our ass kicked on that, or at least I did because I'm stupid.
I didn't want to say anything, Kim. I'm not trying to pass judgment
right?
here.
But
I have seen you play D&D though. I'm totally giving you shit.
I did pretty good on that though. And
I
mean,
know.
think
I was the evil elf.
I think I got Phil even talked into starting that up again. Nudge, nudge.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be nice, right? But no, Baldur's Gate. The cutscenes are nice. Because I don't know, didn't know what to expect on the cutscenes. I was worried it was going to be, like the old-fashioned games where they had the cutscene where you were like 2 pixels and there'd be a thought cloud over your head, and that'd be it. But no, they're nice. I don't know. Like I said, I only played about 2 hours of it, and I'm sure eventually once I get the rhythm of it, which sounds terrible, but I'm sure once I, figure out what I'm doing, right? Exactly. But I'm sure once I get the menus figured out or figure if I can map my buttons so I don't constantly have to try to bring up the wheel so I can jump, because one time I killed myself because I was trying to jump over the flames so I didn't get myself barbecued. I jumped right fucking in them. Just died. Just burnt my ass up. So
Mr. Matthews pointing out you never go straight to the waypoint. The whole point is to stumble upon new quests.
That's true. He's got
Thanks for making us feel dumb, Chris. Appreciate that.
I'm used to Dragon Age where they're like, okay, here's your list of quests. You go here, you do this, yada yada. And obviously, this is not exactly that way. You're just supposed to wander around and run into shit. So I'm good with that. It's just it's going to take a while.
By the way, apologies, Christopher, not Chris. Okay. So,
right.
you're enjoying your time so far.
I am.
Okay.
So, and like I said, I like Gale because the first thing he did was tell me about his magical thing, which I'm not exactly sure what it is, but apparently he's got to have magical items to suck the magic out of it or something. I don't know. But then he told me about his cat, and I'm like, okay, you're the one. So that's all it took,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, Baldur's Gate. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Kim and her sex sims. There we go. Okay. So I did play some Madden 24. I'm not going to talk about it. It just reinforced the notion that I suck at Madden. I enjoy my time with Madden.
That's okay. So does Tony, but he loves playing it.
I do love playing Madden. But inevitably, my passing game skills apparently are going downhill. The more for each year, I don't play it as often as I should.
Right.
So yeah. Indiana Jones, The Great Circle is done. I completed it.
Nice.
Love the game. Fantastic. I'm happy to report there is additional play after you complete the main campaign. So all of those side quests and the completionist, like Lewis, he wants to make sure he does everything in the game. He'll be able to, because I was concerned at one point because the story at one point starts locking you out of certain areas. You can't go back to them. And so I inadvertently kind of progressed the story into the final stage, and I didn't mean to. But they do allow you to go back and do all of those side quests, all of the additional content that's there. You can go in and just have fun being Indiana Jones, which I love. Great game. Honestly, I think it might be one of my all-time favorites. And it just really boils down to the fact that this game perfected the adventurer game. It gave you the promise of what, Tomb Raider back in the day was supposed to be, which Tomb Raider was good, especially early on. It had a lot of puzzles, not as much combat. It wasn't reliant on the combat, but you still felt like you were in this, like, for lack of a better way to put it, murder simulator. Uncharted, same thing. It promised to be this grandiose adventuring of, going in and finding things. And no, it was more about killing all the bad guys. This game, it is absolutely focused on the puzzles, and the combat is there, but they handcuff you with the combat in a way that's effective. And it makes you not reliant on combat, but rather reliant on figuring out how to get around and avoid combat, that's what Indiana Jones is. He's more known for trying to avoid the combat than actually getting into big gunfights. Although there are moments you can and you will. So anyway, Indiana Jones, fantastic. Okay. 3 games I'm going to talk about real fast. So one I stumbled onto called Off the Grid. And I only played through the tutorial on this, mind you, but this is basically PUBG sci-fi. It's like a game show where you recruit 8 people into this game show. Now, granted, they literally amputate your arms and your legs and fit you with robotic legs and robotic arms. And then all these different kind of weapons, and you come into this city, and it is PUBG, just futuristic. So
Gotcha.
you can upgrade your arms and your legs with different kinds of attachments. All the different weapons and mods are there. And, you have the whole shrinking circle. I mean, it literally is PUBG, but it's teams of 3 as opposed to just solo. They may, who knows, it's an early access game. They may let you do solo. I don't know, but at least for the early access that I experienced, you're in teams of 3. And I have it up on screen here so you kind of get a sense of it. So you land, and then suddenly you're just looting, trying to get equipment, weapons, and then it's all about killing the bad guys.
Of course.
And so here you see he's upgrading his arms and getting new weapons, and
Upgrade
it
my
looks
arms.
fantastic. Plays pretty smooth. We'll see. We'll see if it catches on or not. But it's a unique spin on the PUBG experience. But yeah, so I only played through the tutorial on that, so I can't really say with confidence that it's going to be great.
Just weird they mod your arms and legs. It's a little strange, but all right.
The explanation of it was kind of funny because I'm just like, okay, but
Right.
that's the spin, that's the differentiator. So you have these different, arms and legs that will obviously impact some of your powers in the game. And so that's what makes it different than just being PUBG 2.0.
Okay.
Not made by the same company, by the way. So
Well, I figured that. Yeah.
next game I played, Kim,
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I played it using xCloud, by the way.
Right.
'Cause I did not want to download this game because I had a feeling I was not going to be good at this game.
I've heard it's
And-
difficult.
Ninja Gaiden games have always been difficult. I mean, it stands true. I'm
Right.
not good at this game. But it looks fantastic. This is the kind of remastered version of it. And so I was actually quite pleased with the visuals. The controls are actually what did me in. And it's not so much the combat mechanics. The combat mechanics are fairly straightforward and easy, but it's the camera control. So in most third-person action games, the camera will follow behind the character, and as you're kind of moving around, the camera always, for the most part, will stay behind you. And then you can use like the right thumbstick if you want to look in other directions, but the camera kind of will snap back behind the character. So it kind of keeps you centered, if you will. This game doesn't do that. The camera is completely controlled on the right thumbstick. So if you're running along and then you make a left turn, you have to turn the camera with your thumbstick in order to see where you're going. Otherwise, the camera's just going to, it'll be looking straight ahead as you're running left.
Right.
So that just reminded me of just the bad old controls of these games. Also, I really appreciated the fact that I forgot it had the really big-titted woman in the intro. That's on screen right now.
All right.
Just incredible boob physics, big jiggly wiggly. Oh my goodness. Anyway, and yes, she gets captured and taken away, and our job is to save her life. And so that
course.
sets the entire entire premise. And yes, button mashing too, is important in this game. But yeah, it's incredibly gory. I forgot about this game, and I mean, you're hacking off limbs, blood's everywhere, and then it magically disappears after you run around for a little while. It's like it wipes away from you.
Admit, she's got some impressive boob jiggle going on there. Let me tell you.
She does have impressive boob jiggle, and I took notice right away. I was just like, "Oh, hello," but yeah. So
Suddenly, I'm not the only perv on the show. There you go.
I'm bringing the important things back to the podcast. Robin has his cars. I bring boob physics. And Kim, you've got your calendar, so we all have our place in life, right?
We do, right?
All right. And last game, Kim, that I played.
Did you really though?
I did. Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2. I played a considerable amount of time last night.
Nice.
The world was conspiring against me, by the way, Kim, because I was laughing a little bit because I installed the game and I kept teasing you with it. And I took a screenshot of like the tile loaded up on my dashboard, which I have the physical disc version of this game, but it downloaded the complete game onto my hard drive. So I was laughing a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, I'll tease her with this, but I'm going to play it. And as soon as I said that, freaking get a call from work, get a call from my sisters about my mom's situation. And then my son comes home from daycare and I'm like, I ain't playing this anytime soon. And so I'm just laughing. Let me just transition off that because I just hit my button accidentally and took off the game. But I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm never going to get a chance to play this game. Well, I did yesterday. I spent a good probably 6 hours with the game.
Nice.
Absolutely loving it. It is really well done. Visually, this game is first class. It is just a gorgeous looking game. The combat is fluid. It feels heavy. And that's a good thing because you are these giant hulking space marines. You get that sense. I have been using my Elite Series controller as well. I remapped some of the shoulder buttons and stuff because being able to quickly access things like grenades, switching out your weapons, hugely important. Also being able to parry, which I like how they did the parry system. Basically, they put the sword play on the shoulder buttons. And left bumper is like a kind of quick parry. And the like boss enemies or even smaller enemies will kind of signal if they're doing a charge attack at you. And you can parry those attacks. And that will stun them. And if you parry it perfectly, you'll get kind of like a kill, especially on the smaller enemies. There's great executions in this game. Just really well done. And the story, as much as I don't know 40K and I don't know any of the backstory, I did feel like they do a really well job of setting the tone for everything. And you feel like you kind of get what's going on, even without having to be super knowledgeable. So highly recommend it. So far, just enjoying my time with it.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ya.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get you and Phil together so we can have some multiplayer.
There you go.
Yep.
Multiplayer for the win.
Indeed.
For the win. Okay. What am I doing here? Kim, you know what we're doing, Kim?
Uh-oh.
All right, now everybody get settled. Get away from the windows. Now look, good. It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad. Tough.
All right, kids, here's the deal. Metacritic Madness normally is we take a year and I pick 3 games from the year. But you know what, Kim? Sometimes you got to do things differently.
Of course.
Because it's the Super Bowl, I thought it would be appropriate to do Guess the Metacritic NFL football game score. So I have selected numerous games, and actually we have 5.
Oh, wow.
And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain. But there's 5 games we'll be picking from, and they range from quite some time ago to not so long ago. So the first game up is Madden NFL 20 on the PS4. And you're saying to yourself, Kim, and I see it. I see your brain spinning. You're like, what's the significance of Madden NFL 20?
Yeah.
It's the first time Patrick Mahomes appeared on the Madden cover.
Oh, nice.
So here we go, Kim. What was the Metacritic score for Madden NFL 20 on the PS4? Kids, you can play at home as well. Don't be afraid.
Right. 85.
All right. Kim says 85. I'm curious to see what the merry band of Shatters says. 85 feels like a solid guess because, again, Madden, you feel like it's a staple.
Right.
But here's the deal, Kim. Madden NFL 20 only got a 76
Wow.
on, 76.
Really
And
bad
ironically,
like
I feel like there was a Madden curse right after that.
Right.
But, that was it. So there we go. So Madden NFL 20, 76. I see, oh, look at that, Mr. Matthew, on it. I don't know if that was cheating or not. I'm just saying.
Right.
NFL Blitz originally was going to be potentially on my list. I'm just saying, but it did not make the list. There's a reason why.
Okay.
So, Kim, we're now going to go to Madden NFL 06.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're thinking, well, what's the significance of 06?
I sure am.
I knew you were. And this is, of course, on the PS2, Kim. We're going to say consistently here a theme of PlayStation games, and I'm just because it'll make more sense. Trust me.
Okay. No, I trust you.
But this was the first and only time an Eagles player has been on the cover of Madden. Donovan McNabb graced the cover of Madden 06. Now, Kim, what score do you think Madden 06 got?
Well,
on the PS2, mind you.
Okay. 79.
Kim's going with 79. Now, I feel like the previous score tainted you a little bit. This actually got an 88, Kim, on the PS2.
Holy shit.
Now, interestingly, it only got a 74 in the 360.
Right.
So, there you go. But no, on the PS2, it got an 88.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm not going to do so on this one. I can see this already.
Yeah. Now, we're going to shift gears a little bit here, and we're going to go to NFL 2K1 on the Dreamcast.
Oh, wow.
I want to say this was 2000. Kim, what score do you think this game got? And I'll give the explanation behind this in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
85.
Kim's going with an 85. Again, Kim, I feel like you're throwing darts here a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
This actually is, as far as I know, the highest scoring NFL football game all time.
Wow.
Got a 97.
Holy shit, yeah. Damn.
Yep. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, Kim, well then, what's the highest Madden scoring game ever?
Indeed. I sure am.
Now, I will give you a chance to guess the score for the highest scoring Madden game, which was Madden 2003 on the PS2. What do you think that score was? Now, I've already kind of influenced this one. I had freely admit it. You know it's a higher score.
Right.
But
well, I might as well shoot the moon on this. I mean, I've bounced everywhere else. How about 93?
93 is a solid guess, Kim. It was actually 95.
Hey,
yeah, there you go.
Got in the ballpark.
Now, the last game on our list, Kim. It's the only other time Patrick Mahomes has appeared on a Madden cover. And he appeared along with Tom Brady. That was in Madden NFL 22, which I believe they skipped 21. So this technically was the next game. I could be wrong. But just Madden curse stuff. Because we know what happened in that Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Do we need to relive that for a moment? Just feel those vibes? No? Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, what do you think this game got, Kim, for a Metacritic score? Madden NFL 22 on the PS5.
87.
87. Kim, it got a 68.
Oh, shit.
It was not very well received. Yeah.
Apparently. Damn, I blame Tom Brady for that one. Anyway.
There you go. And Mr. Matthew, thank you so much. I see he had to run, and he was not a fan of me calling him cheating.
No.
I don't play for the Chiefs. Well played, Mr. Matthew.
Yeah. I hear you.
And well done, Kim. Well done.
Yeah. Worst one I think I've done yet.
A couple you were pretty good. I'm stalling, by the way, because I stupidly closed out my stupid notes. So as we're talking, I'm bringing my notes back up. Because sometimes
so
you
why
close.
wasn't NFL Blitz on the list? You said there was a reason for
just
that.
because I didn't want to have 6 games on the list. I had it there, but then I thought, I'll pull one with the Chief on it, one with an Eagle on it. So there you go.
All right, that makes sense.
All right. We are at that time of the show where we talk about news, Kim.
Yes.
This is, instead of in the intro, we'll play it now.
Here is the fucking news.
So yeah, news to talk about. Well, we already have a little bit of this news in that Mr. Louis Raimondo talked about the PSN outage. In fact, it did finally. So I'll take a step back. After nearly 24 hours of downtime, PS5's PSN online service was restored on Saturday, and Sony has apologized with a free gift to players. So all of PlayStation Premium players will get basically an additional 5 days of service. So there you go. Merry Christmas. They apologize for the inconvenience and thank their community for their patience. I don't think people were rather patient, by the way.
No, I chuckled because I'm thinking, well, I've got an Xbox, so I can play all day.
Yeah, the crazy thing is there was no explanation as to why it was down for as long as it was. A lot
there
of
are people that are wondering if they were hacked and all sorts of weird things.
I'm pretty sure they probably had a DDoS attack. There was a big DDoS attack as well against the Microsoft xCloud services, and Microsoft was actually able to repel it during Christmas time. But
right, yep.
Hey, you know what? It unfortunately is the world we live in.
Yep.
Okay, next story. Troy Baker as Indy shows you don't need to steal actors' souls with AI. That's according to Harrison Ford. So this is an interview with the Wall Street Journal. The publication asked Ford whether he was taking precautions to make sure digital AI versions of him wouldn't still be appearing in movies after he was dead. Particularly because his recent roles in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and Captain America Brave New World involved capturing his appearance and turning him into a younger Indy and Red Hulk, respectively. Ford replied that there was no need to use AI to artificially create new performances because there are other ways to continue his character. You don't need artificial intelligence to steal my soul. He said you can already do it for nickels and dimes with good ideas and talent, referring to Troy Baker's portrayal of Indiana Jones. I concur to a degree. Right. It is a little more challenging when it comes to movies to be able to recreate the likenesses. Troy Baker does not look like Indiana Jones.
No.
There's not really much to say about this one, Kim. It was a interesting article. I wanted to bring it up.
Gotcha.
Okay. Paradox Interactive has acquired Jagged Alliance 3, the studio from Hayamont Games. And you're wondering why I included this in here, because this is the other physical version of a game I own. I own Space Marines 2 and Jagged Alliance 3. So Paradox Interactive has announced it has acquired Jagged Alliance 3 developer. The Swedish publisher says it has signed into a binding agreement to acquire all shares of Hayamont Games, making it a wholly owned subsidiary, according to Paradox. The Bulgarian. That's what happens when I have a stuffy nose. I'm just saying. Yep. The Bulgarian studio staff and leadership will remain intact, which I like to hear. And ongoing projects will remain in development. So no changes, just change at the top levels. And I think that's what we all hope. Whenever there's an acquisition, you hope that's the case. I'm sure there will be some changes because at the end of the day, if you have 2 HR departments, likely you don't need 2 HR departments. You have some consolidation, but leave the developers in place. Let the studio stay its full self. A little story for our UK friends. UK retailer Currys will now repair Xbox consoles. The tech retailer has become the region's only Xbox authorized service provider, meaning it has partnered with Microsoft to offer official repairs of the video game systems. Curry will repair Xbox consoles both in and out of warranty. And Xbox players can get their consoles repaired at any Curry store, regardless of where they originally purchased them from. So that's actually a nice kind of throw in there. So you bought it on Amazon, you can still take it to a Curry's and get it fixed. And you can also have your console sent away for repair. So, there's that mail option, if you will.
Right.
Kim, are you excited about the Switch 2?
Not really.
Well, that's.
I mean, I have a Switch, and I can tell you, how many times I've probably fired it up in the last year. So, yeah.
Oh, that's an indictment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Well, if you were excited about the Switch 2, you have reason to be excited. There's a Nintendo Direct that has been confirmed. That will take place on April 2nd at 3 p.m. CST, your time, Kim, in Canada.
Yeah.
That's Canadian Eastern Standard Time. 2 p.m. GMT, 6 a.m. PT, and 9 a.m. ET. It's confirmed a full reveal was planned for April 2nd and also announced plan to hold a series of Switch 2 preview events, giving attendees the chance to try out the console before it's released.
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure, hopefully we'll learn the price as well.
Right.
They are, I think being price sensitive to this. So hopefully it'll be a decent price, not crazy. But yeah, we'll learn more on April 2nd. And then lastly, I at first thought this was going to tie in to the Switch 2, which I was like, okay, for sure Minecraft is coming to the Switch 2, but it's actually not so fast. London is getting an immersive Minecraft experience in April. And I thought, oh, it's happening in April. This must mean, the Switch 2 reveal is happening on the Direct, and then we're going to hear about Minecraft. No.
Right.
It's actually it's coinciding with the release of the Minecraft movie April 4th. So the Minecraft experience, Villager Rescue, will open its doors the same day at Corner, so a new multiverse venue in Canada Water. Wherever Canada Water is, I've never heard of this place, but there we go. Canada Water in the UK. The experience will see players take part in a 45-minute journey through the attraction, guided by two unique characters, Tobin and Deo. They will learn to use the Orb of Interaction, a glowing interactive handheld device that guides the user from room to room. Okay. Maybe it'll be really cool. Maybe.
Maybe. For me, though.
Central Time Zone, the heart of America. Blasphemy. All right, Kim, let's talk about some new releases.
Alrighty. Your new releases for February 9th through the 16th are Sid Meier's Civilization 7 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, PC, February 11th. The Executive for the PC, also on February 11th. And I'm not making this one up. It hasn't been fucked with. This is the name. Super Jaeger Bomb 2, Go East. PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, PC on the 12th. I've had a Jaeger Bomb. I don't know that it was that exciting, but all right.
Yep.
Phantom Breaker, Battlegrounds Ultimate, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, PC on the 13th as well. Rugby 25 for the PS4, PS5, X and S, Xbox One, and PC on the 13th. Afterlove EP. I don't know. Isn't that cuddling? Maybe I'm wrong. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on February 14th. Oh, and it comes out on Valentine's Day. Wow. All right. I didn't even notice that when I put it in the notes. There you go. The Legend of Heroes, Trails Through Daybreak 2, PS5, PS4, Switch, PC on the 14th as well. And those are all your new releases for this week.
There we go.
Nothing there I would want to play. So.
Yeah. I mean, Sid Meier's Civilization 7,
right.
I do like Sid Meier's Civilization games, so that intrigues me.
Right.
I do like Jaeger bombs, so
right, occasionally, yeah.
The drink.
Yes.
I don't know. The Afterlove EP, I feel like EP stands for something, and that would really give it context if we knew what EP stands for, but I'm also slightly afraid to ask what EP stands for.
Right.
So, yeah.
Same here.
And Rugby 25, I wonder how popular that is. I feel like not so much. I don't know.
Probably not here, no, but maybe
definitely not here. I just wonder, like, does it do well in Europe? I'm assuming it probably does really well in Australia,
Probably.
New Zealand, but beyond that, I like playing rugby, by the way. I played rugby in high school. It's an interesting sport.
Nice.
But still not NFL football's better.
Right.
Armored wink ball for the win.
There you go.
All right. Kim, we're at that time.
We really are.
We jammed through this because we wanted our Super Bowl prep time.
Right.
We need to get our liquor in order, food also in order. And so those are just the facts. So as we prep for the Super Bowl, we also can kind of prep a little bit for next week. Kim,
Yes.
The Halo Wednesday night thing got a little bit, wrench thrown in it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Spanner in the works, as they say.
Yeah. We blame Lewis.
It's all Lewis's fault.
Playing skills. He said, I can't do Wednesdays anymore. Could I possibly partake in a Thursday?
Right.
And we can make that happen. So
yeah.
we still might
We're
do
here for you.
Wednesdays. Still might do, it's my lunchtime. So I just jump on when I can. And so we'll shift a little bit. So it'll become a Thursday night Halo.
Right.
As opposed to a Wednesday night Halo. But you still might see me on Wednesdays for that midweek action. But we'll officially move the Halo night to Thursdays. And we still hold out hope that it could eventually turn into something else. But
yeah,
it may come to PlayStation at some point. That's the big threat out there, the multi-platform. And
There you
so
go.
maybe we'll get some PlayStation noobs to come in and they can show me how to play Halo.
they'll make me look better because they'll be worse than me.
And
hopefully.
they're not going to be.
Thanks, Dan.
Just kidding you, Kim. Kim, Femme Fatale Fridays. I feel like this is going to become Space Marine Fridays.
Hopefully, I'd be okay with that. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, CP Matthew and Mark and Snoogans, or as we like to call them this week, Slogans. I know and Jay, Mark's, son, was all playing Helldivers 2, also on Fridays. So there's that. But yeah, I'd fit in some Space Marines if you wanted. So
All right.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
I'm game, as they say. So
we're not talking about the sex sims, Kim. We're not talking about the sex
right,
sims.
fine.
All right. If you've gotten this far, thank you. Give a like, give a subscribe. Don't post mean things in our chat. Appreciate you, Kim, for deleting things. I don't even know what they said. I don't want to know.
Oh, they were just trying to tell us we could drum up more viewers. I'm
Oh,
not sure
yes.
why, but Okay.
Of course, if I dedicated my life and quit my job and, bought a bunch of race sim stuff, I could definitely drum up more viewers and, but I'm not there yet in my life. I'm not at that stage. I'm not at retirement stage yet. By the way, Robin, honestly, a little Grecian on the beard. It just looks too much like Santa Claus at this point. I look at Robin and I see Santa Claus. All right. We shouted out the chat. Kim, anybody else you want to shout out?
No, just like I said, happy birthday to my brother on the 11th. I hope it's a good one. I'm sure I'll probably talk to you that day because I always kind of make a point of, when my siblings'
I would
birthdays
hope
roll
so.
around to, hey, it's your birthday. You have me for a sister. Good luck. So, but no, I hope everybody has a good week this week. I plan on it. Hopefully the Chiefs win. Other than that, I'll pass you over to Tank Top.
All right.
So-
Well, hopefully they don't win, Kim.
Yeah, I hear you.
I-
Oh, you bunch of haters. Tell you.
I don't want to see Taylor Swift anymore. I want to hear her fade into the background.
But I still want my team to win. But Taylor could take a flying leap off a rolling donut. I'd be thrilled. So
A couple blown out knees would be nice. Early retirement for some players like the one that Kelsey. His day is done. Just retire already. Focus in on your love life with. Yeah, come on. No, shout out to the chat. Thank you everybody for being here, hanging out. By the way, Lewis, still sorry about the Dallas Mavericks. I know that was a tough trade.
right.
You'll be okay.
And I don't even follow basketball anymore. And I saw that one. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was a big one. I really want to see Nick Wright crying come Monday. If you don't know who Nick Wright is, he is a infamous Chief loving national media sports guy. I actually happen to like his television show as First Things First, but he is obnoxious about how much he loves the Chiefs. Like, you say anything bad against the
Worse
Chiefs.
than I am.
Oh, no, Kim, it like pales in comparison. You are like a a steady, even-keeled fan.
Right.
He's like, if you mention anything like you might think the other team can win, and you're disrespecting the Chiefs. Anyway.
Right.
Okay. Go Eagles, go. I think that's the show. We will see everybody later. Have a good time watching the Super Bowl. Watch those commercials. That's the most important thing.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.
By the way, can you believe Beyonce won countries?
I know.
Honestly,
What?
no, not country. Just saying.
I am